morning, chatters. How your morning is going? Oh my goodness. I was trying to be live not too long ago, but I had to switch devices. How's your day? I hope it is well. The sun is shining over here. It's already pretty warm. But this phone I'm quiet because this phone is on. It's pretty warm. Anyways, alright, I'm back. So guys, I hope your day is well. Hope your morning is good. Just coming in to say hi y'all this morning. We up and running. Up and running, guys. Up and running. What I was saying, because earlier I was trying to come live, but I had to change my device. Because sometimes the other phone don't pick up all the time in certain places, so I just be switching on this phone because I feel like this phone pick up better. Thank God for that, right? One phone feel you, another can help you. I came across a story. This guy, he was telling this story, and I didn't even know. Like I said earlier, I was trying to come live to tell you, but I didn't even know how I got on that story. But I got on that story and I was just doing my thing around the house, a ping around the house, and just have the phone I play. And I'm just listening to this, guy talk his story and everything, and I'm just like, I get deeper and deeper in this story. I say, okay. And I listen to this story, I say a cup of tea, I drop out of my eye for this story, man. And it just made me think. And it just made me think, and I said, I'm going to come and I'm going to talk to the chatters. And we're going to have a conversation about things in this world. This person was not no God person. They were not no Christian. They were not no churchgoer. This person was none of these things. Actually, him and his wives did porn. That's what they did to make money. They were a part of these kind of industries. They live these open lifestyles and they make mad money. You understand? And, as this guy ended up in the end, one of his legs got amputated. In the end, his life was given to God. In the end, he got the other baby he wanted. And in the end, his marriage was restored. But hearing the story from the beginning and how he got there is so profound to me. And, he talked about, chasing all these things in the world. And then him when come to God because him never want nothing to do with God. Him never have nothing to do with God. And I tell sometimes I think about those things and I say, God is so merciful to us. Because some people curse God, blame God. They're mad at God for things because he was one of them. And that's what's so profound about it. And so encouraging about it is he kept it 100. He kept it real. You understand? He talk about the fact that him and his wife, he decided he want to pursue him porn thing, and he tell his wife straight up, hey, me want to do me one thing, And hurt his wife, and now him and his wife and they all separated. Imagine the man that chase this lifestyle. You have your wife, you have a picnic already, because you have one picnic. And he not realize, say, all this steroids why my tech go make him sick. He's just like any other of these men out here. They're chasing their vanity, that good body. You understand? They're in the gym every day. They live their lives that way and they're very cocky. He was one of them. So he was not ready for no God. Can you imagine thinking about losing or getting your feet amputated all the way? And it's like all these things that happen in his life. The way how God have mercy on this man. And in the end, he still gained everything back. I want people to remember, no matter how much money you see is out there in things, don't sell your soul for it, because in the end, him and his wife thought, okay, we make so much money. We have these big house and car. They got these big cars and big chat living and all this. God, if we stop pouring now, what we gonna do? Yeah. These are real questions. When you live your life a particular way, you fashion your life a particular way, and you make millions, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and now you go from that, where you go do as a job? What are you supposed to go do now as a job? Because that's why it's very hard for people to transition out of those industries, because the money you make in those industries, you don't make nowhere. Even upon a big job, you still don't make those kind of money like that in a society for 9 to 5. Now you have to be a big shot CEO somewhere. But even them, depending on what you do, still not make the money what porn and sex bring in. Sex money, a whole heap of money. You understand me I say? And we not talk about cheap bottom road work. We are talking about people that make this as a full-on content. They have actors that do this with them. They have people that fly into special places. They got nice, places they can go have sex, and they can fly out, go to different countries, and they can do these things to make the content of great quality to them. So when they put all this money, the man even said in a part of the video, he said one day he spent $50,000 preparing, getting everything together to do a scene for content. So if he's paying $50,000 just to do that, what does he make back? And he skyrocketed in his career, him and the wife, right? But there came a point, the wife was not part of it anymore. His story is so powerful. So powerful. But he's typically just like any other man or any other woman out there, that you have things in your life that you hold on to and your bread and your butter. He held on to steroids like bread and butter. Nobody could tell him nothing. Steroids was his God. You understand? And the steroids made him sick, and in ways that he didn't know. And it also made him kind of sterile, where he couldn't even breeding wife. No, he never went pay attention or cared about that. And he said, even this was so crazy, because he said back then, the headspace that he was in, if anybody said, if his wife came to him and threatened him and tell him, say, hey, you need to stop taking these steroids, he said he would tell the wife to go on. He preferred to have the steroids over her. That is how bad it was for him. He said too, like, for him, he was up with it. He was kind of like going cocky and going like him better than people. And that is why it's so important for us to share our testimony, because there are so many people out there that, you might be able to relate to, or that even them, whether they have money or not, when they come to Christ, he brings us to a place of humility. And that nothing we have matters. So, back to the point I was making, imagine you're making all these millions of dollars, and you have fashioned your life as such. So you might live in a big mansion house, you might have 5-6 cars, you're picking them might go to private school, so you know these bills will be due. So he's like, God, like you come in my life and everything, but no, what me and my wife are going to do, because this is what we made our money from. And, he said the Lord took him to the scripture about the tax collector. Y'all know this tax collector was hated, and how he, go around to his own people and overtax them, and the people them hate him and everything like that. And the whole story changed his life. But when Jesus said, follow me, that tax collector dropped everything. All of what am I do? No matter how much millions he probably have, because the Bible said he was the richest of them. Richest. So the man will have money. And he dropped everything and followed Jesus. And that was the moment when him and his wife decided, and him and his wife was now at this point praying together, reading together. They have now given their life to the Lord. And I'm telling you, I'm going to let you out here just a little bit of something. It's the whole story, can't go done, but because the story kind of long, you have to have time to listen to the whole thing. I would encourage you guys to listen to it. Let me see. I'll share it in the Chatters Mob group. Actually, let me share it right now. I share it in the Chatters Mob group. And anybody who's interested in actually watching it in totality can go over there and watch it. So I'm going to play a little bit of it. Marcia, good morning. It's a little bit.
It was there was no way you'd ever have a conversation with me and see a reflection of the Holy Spirit within me. I mean, the furthest thing from it. And so that's really where things started to take a turn. So we have been in this industry for years now at this point. Just getting deeper and deeper into it, working with more and more people, working our way up, making lots and lots of money. It was paying out severely for us. And funny enough, it's really funny when young people make a lot of money for not a lot of work. They tend to spend it really stupidly, is what I've seen as kind of a pattern. So we were making a lot of money really fast, but our spending quickly rise to the occasion. And even in regardless of the money we were making, yeah, we were spending so much money that we never really built up a big savings. We were kind of just living like suddenly like kind of like a movie lifestyle. We were driving fancy cars and living in a big house and spending stupid money on jewelry and flying first class and staying in hotels that were expensive and Airbnb, just
and that's always
blowing our money,
you know, guys,
blowing it like idiots.
That's always one of the things I notice about quick money. And I don't know if none of you on here has ever been in any lifestyle where you're getting quick money, you're a hustler, maybe in your younger days, whatever, or any little sell pum tory, because you know say no for man sell front. You know, the quick money sometimes, a lot of times the money, them, I don't know why, it don't stay with you. I don't know why that money don't stay with you. Bless the soul them when take their money and use for good. But most time when you see young people, they get quick money, it does not stay with them. They don't invest it right. The money just go, them and spread it quick because it's so quick. They feel like they can just spend it. You know, there's no value, no worth to it. That's why you don't give young people certain things, because they don't know the value of it. So they're not going to save it.
Who don't deserve it, honestly. And so we had been in this industry for about 3 years at this point, and my wife and I were finally at like a breaking point in our marriage. She had gotten to a point where she was getting tired of it, how much it had consumed our lives. And she was ready. Mind you, we have a young child who's now a toddler at this point at home, and we would have to spend so much time away from him because we were traveling so much. And we kept telling ourselves, well, like, you know, it'll be good for him eventually. He needs this, you know, we need to make money to support our child. He needs, you know, a big house and, you know, all these nice things that we didn't have when we were kids. We want to provide those things to our child. So again, we kind of convinced ourselves that we were doing the right thing by spending so much time away from him and devoting ourselves to our work. And it had just gotten to a point where, like, yeah, a year had went by and it just felt like we didn't spend a lot of time with our child. We didn't spend a lot of time as a family. It just seems like every second of that last year we had spent trying to develop our business. And so my wife was at a point where she was really ready to, like, scale back significantly the business and, like, scale back our efforts in that industry. And I was at a point where I was ready to do the exact opposite. I was ready to double down. So this was January of 2024 where we're at this point, where she's ready to settle down and kind of scale down the business. I was ready to double down and scale it up.
Imagine that.
In March of 2024, we had went and shot a scene in Tampa, and at this time it was like probably one of our biggest scenes that we had ever shot in our career. And just to be like honest but vague at the same time, like, what ended up happening is we went and shot a scene, and I felt like I did great, and I was very pleased with my performance that time. And there were other producers there. This was like a big connecting scene because there was many other companies involved. There were other producers and directors involved. There were lots of other actresses involved, and I feel like I showed up at.
Yes, you think that's a monkey-run business? You think this sex thing is monkey-run business? This is real production. You hear me? So they're having people, I mean, sometimes you have these contracts behind these things. We are talking about big money talk. You understand? These people fly out there, they're doing their thing for money. And they don't know how it's destroying their home life. They don't know how it's destroying their soul, because they're more convinced that, okay, I'm going to get this money and I'm going to be able to get these materialistic things for my life and for my children's life. That is how we all rationalize when we are doing certain things in ourselves. Okay, if I do this, okay, me I go have this and I go have that for give me my son, my husband, my wife. But it never works out quite the way we think it does. I think this story is just so powerful.
And did my job to the best of my abilities that day. And my wife, on the other hand, like, she had a disconnect. We had been like just arguing a lot that week and at each other's throats, and like we just weren't in a good place to do what we were doing, honestly. But again, like me as a person, as a husband at this time, like I just killed all sense of morality within myself to be able to compete at this level.
See that?
And so,
my God.
Yeah, my wife came and she also did the scene.
Y'all better know that your dignity is on the line, and you have to kill a sense of morality. You're right. Because think about it. There's some actions we don't do because it messes with our morality. It makes you feel a kind of way when you do it, or if you were to think of doing it. But you see, when people get bold and they see people are very loose and they're more, they're free, they call themselves free. It's a lot of times is when they have already killed that side of themselves. They got to diminish that side of themselves so they can, rise up on that bolder side. And usually it is very sexual. There's something deep, These things are so deep. Because in the end, you can't truly kill that side fully, because it always come rushing back. Because life have a way through your experiences, and you can't. That's why we can't even escape God whether we want Him or not. Because life have a way, especially when we start mature and grow. Life have a way through our experiences to start replay things in our head. To start put things in a perspective for we. When we never want to. You understand me I say? Because as a mature, you start looking and say, my God, me can't believe me there with so much money when me young. What make me a think so me want the man them that time when me were young? You understand? But life, just get up and life have a way. God make it in a one way where it will show you yourself. Or when you kill morality in your youth. All when you kill your morality in your youth. When you get in your mature stage. That morality come crawling back. Because now you start a grand pitney. Maybe you even have more pitney. Now you're connecting to other people in life. People that may even lead you in different direction that you've never been. That is better than what you've been doing. And that stuff come rushing back all the time. That is where people will find themselves feeling ashamed. And I'm not here to make you feel ashamed, baby, because God forgive you if you move out from a lifestyle. You can't make nobody beat you. You know, hell I haven't put in now. You use that story like this guy. He has a powerful story. He used what he do to glorify God. He's telling people about who he was then and what he is now. And how God really turned him around, and he was not no church person. He was never raised up in no church business. Because a lot of people don't know about God. They genuinely think that all their hope is in themselves. They genuinely think if I do this and I do that, my life will be okay. But for some reason, it's never okay. It's as a way to twist and turn us. It has a way to make our mind go into different places. I'm telling you, we're going to keep listening. This story is just so powerful.
It went differently for her, and her and I were in like a serious fight afterwards for just like, obviously jealousy played a factor at this point. My vanity, my pride was put me in a position where I no longer felt empathy for my wife, and I really just lacked respect for her. And it had gotten to like a breaking point at this time. So we shot.
You see that too? You're lacking respect for your wife. Do you see how the enemy works through sin in your relationships? And in the end, you end up cursing God. This is how he tricks us. I see it all the time. Whether in my personal life that I've done that, whether I've seen it with people that I've heard their testimony, or close friends. Because when we get up and we do these things, we make a choice to do these things. It is our choice to do these things, whether you believe in a God or whether you don't believe in a God, whether you're a Christian or whether you're not a Christian. Because sometimes you're a Christian and you compromise God too. Sometimes you're a Christian and you want a little money and you don't trust God for money, you go do a little 1, 2 on the side to get a little money. People don't want to talk the truth. People don't want to talk the truth. There's a lot of secret things people do because they feel like they're in survival mode. You understand? And it's not because they're proud of it. No. Because this guy is not gloating, but he's testifying about how prideful even he was back then. You can look for your wife and treat your wife a certain kind of way when you're in a sin. Or your wife can treat you a particular way when the two of you get up, go lay down and do the same immoral thing together. Can you imagine? We was in this together. I know you're turning on me. So when you look on it, he uses his little things for money, right? And he sneaks in to destroy your marriage on top of it too. Because supposed to you and him ride or die whether you want to porn out or whatever you want to do. But now you're turning on for your wife during this entire life-changing situation. And that is how destruction come to it. And oh my God, that thing that we call choice is so dangerous. Me, I realize in my head, say, Lord God, I have to really work on myself and hold myself sometime, because you see this thing what we call choice. Choice have a way to either build you or completely destroy you. And we have to be mindful, guys, of our choice. We have to be mindful of these things. The choice you make personally in your life and even your relational choice. Some of you make a choice for a man that beats your brain in every day. Now because of that, you bring destruction for your own body. Everywhere in lick, you have cancer. Choice. This guy ended up with cancer and an amputation because he took those steroids. Choice. I'm telling you guys, God cannot step in your place of choice. This is where people don't understand. This is where we misunderstood God. When he made us, he cannot override your choice. He is God. He stands on his word. He gives you a choice. And once you make that choice, does he abandon you? No. Because he stands firm to say he never leave or forsake you. But when you make bad choices, you cannot turn around and blame God for your bad choices. When you make them, if you decide to go to him, like this guy eventually did, he helps you through it and he turns that bad decision for his glory. So instead of shame and condemnation, now you use the testimony and you come speak to somebody about the bad choices you made and how God used it to even restore your marriage. I'm telling you guys, keep listening. Choice.
And she was very upset afterwards. And by the time we had, and we were out there for a week, so we had multiple scenes we were supposed to shoot. But on the very first day, that very first one went bad between her and I. And for the rest of the week, because her and I were arguing, we didn't shoot any other scenes the rest of the week. And that was like a big failure to me at that time. Because again, I felt like there were doors opening for me and opportunities presenting themselves, and I needed to be on point there. And I felt like between her and I arguing, it had just like kind of made that not really possible. And so when we got back from Tampa on that trip, I was like, I had let everything consume me. I had let the world consume me, and I had decided over in my head that I'd be better off pursuing my career, and my wife would be better off retiring and raising our child, and I was willing to divorce if we had to make that work. And so we got back, and this is all gonna.
You see how far they go with these choices? He's willing to divorce if he had to. No, because sin makes us ridiculous. And me realize it. I mean, not talk about nobody but myself. Sin really makes us delusional and ridiculous. I don't even understand why we have to be given this terrible nature, honestly. Because some of the things we do, when you look back into your life, you say, why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? Why would I ever do that? But we do. For some reason we do.
Have a full circle sharing these details. We'll all have a full circle effect here in the end. But we got back from Tampa, and I discussed with her that I felt like she was holding my career back at this point. And even though in the beginning she is what helped skyrocket. I mean, she skyrocketed herself, obviously, but she also helped skyrocket me in my career. Now I'm sitting here so drunk on my own pride and arrogance that I'm telling my own wife that I was ready to divorce her so that I could pursue a solo career in the porn industry. And as you can imagine, she was devastated. She was devastated by that.
Can you imagine? Good morning, darling. Can you imagine? Merited. And we don't see ourselves when we're in these moments of heat, I call it. Because when pride rises up in our ear, man, mighty God, nobody can tell you nothing, Pride is really a destructive spirit. You understand? Because that thing will destroy you in the marriage. When something happens, you're so prideful. You can't even forgive. You're so prideful. You can't even remember, say you're a sinner too. But he might do all this wrong, against his wife, And his level of pride. Look on it. Look on his level of pride. And he's admitting this in his story. He's not holding back. These are things we should learn from. Because some of us have either made the same mistake, or some of us are in it right now, or some of us will be headed there one day. Because we're searching for certain things in this world. You understand? Adam and Eve choose to disobey God. Yes, Sandra. Yes, they did. And sometimes, personally, this is going to be part 1, because I'm going to come back and play part 2 when I'm driving back, because I really like this story. I think that for us, like when Adam and Eve did what they did, like for me, I'm like, God, I so hate the fact that I'm born this way. I'd be really angry about it. Genuinely, in my heart. Like, there's days when I cry about it, bro. No, there's days I sit back and I'm pissed at myself because I'm like, God, I hate that I'm born in sin. Me never asked for this. Really and truly, Me never asked for want this. I never asked for want that. I never asked. But hear me could have been like an angel. I legit, in my heart, bro. When I think about it, sometimes I'm like, well, me could have been the angel and just obey. Because this life is so hard to live. I don't care what nobody say. This life is hard to live. Very hard to live. And no matter if you got luxury, no matter if you got money, no matter what you got, it's just not enough. You understand? And these people were making good money. But all of these vanity things tend to destroy who we are on the inside. Oh, who we're supposed to be originally. It changes us and it makes us treat people bad. When you look at it, husbands, when they start doing certain things, they start treating their wives bad. Vice versa. They start abandoning their children. And these things are not usually seen in the moment. It's like you have blinders on. When you are literally drawn away with the lust of your flesh and enticed. And it's true that, in this time we do have the lust of our flesh. A lot. Any real human being, and we can see our own everything now, pander to what, our eye. We can see sexual things all day long for free. People don't have to run up and down in secret websites to find women running around naked, men running around naked. They have kids running around naked. They have all kind of stuff now. Nothing is hidden, but everything pushes you in a place of sin. Literally. Even the simplest of things push you in a place of sin. So you see, if you go walk with God, or you go choose God this time, you have to go through some things, because at the story where you go to, go keep it, because the world is so wicked that you go hard for you're not sinning in this world. That is why sometimes it is good to really suffer. Because suffering people walk with God. But anytime you see people start having comfort, anytime you see they start having too much money, anytime you see they start having this vanity lifestyle, guess what? then life destroy. I'm telling you. Keep these things in your mind, shadows. I gotta run up out of here. I have an appointment. I love y'all. I love y'all. We're gonna come back and keep listening to a little bit more of this story in a little bit. In a few minutes, I'll be back live. Think about what I'm telling you. Think about this guy's story. And if you're right now chasing something, and say in reality you chasing that thing is not gonna be, good, don't do it, because I'm gonna tell you, you're gonna spend so much years doing that, and when you're done, you're gonna waste those years away. So think about your choice. We know say sometimes we want money and stuff, but it's best we go about things and are losing morality because of money. But you're not, God is able to redeem anybody no matter how far you have gone. So me want you to know, say, no matter what you do, if you're true with the Lord, He forgives. You don't have to worry about all this and that. And you're going to hear, in the rest of this story, because this guy thought he was not redeemable. He thought, God me done so much. Well, you can't forgive me. You understand? No. No, you can't forgive me. No, man. But guess what? God show him, say, he can be forgiven. He show him, say, he can, restore him same way. Yeah, man. Straight up. Keep that down, man. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How are you?